Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I have had the worst customer service in my life with Optus in the last week. Now, I did a long video just basically to have some YouTube therapy and just, get it all out and go through the whole thing. I might put that up, but it's really long. I just want to make a short video. Basically, I had a 100 gigabyte plan for $60 that I got back in 2018, but it came with a permanent $15 discount, making it a $45 bill, and an extra 30 gigabytes, which I got into separate add-ons, and they were supposed to be permanent. Now, the add-ons would expire after 24 months now to be put on again, but the discount was permanent, and one of the add-ons was permanent, but the other add-on wasn't. So basically, around the same time, the 25 gigabyte add-on expired temporarily, and the discount disappeared. So I was being charged $60 for the last 2 months, and then this month, which I didn't realize, and this month my data dropped, and I suddenly found myself, having used 85% of my data with 2 weeks left, and I'm like, what the hell? So I called up. First person I spoke to said, well, you're a billing customer, I can't deal with you, which is wrong, because I was speaking about home services. So the second person I spoke to actually re-established the data and sent me out a message confirming that I just have to call back in 24 months when that happens again. It'll automatically be added, no problems. But he didn't know how to deal with the other issues, so he gave me to the manager. The manager hung up on me because he was just obstructive and just wouldn't help and just was horrible. And that's basically been my experience with customer service for the most part, where for every good person who actually looks at the issue objectively and just works at resolving the problem for the customer, there's 5-10 other people who will deliberately just try and obstruct you, lie to you with the wrong information, just try and stop you from getting your problem resolved because they look at you as like some sort of enemy, and if they can stop you from getting a problem resolved, it's like they're saving money for the company or something. They're just evil. So my way of dealing with them is just keep calling back. It's just a matter of numbers, Russian roulette. Eventually you'll get someone who will help you. So I kept calling, and I got a second guy who said he'd help, and he was incredibly manipulative, which I didn't realize for a while, but he was trying to speak to me like we were friends and talk about similar problems. He was sharing all these things with me, and the call was dragging out, but I felt like he's identifying with me. He sees me as a person. He's probably going to try and help me. He lied about all this stuff, was manipulating me, and eventually came back with the same information that the other people had told me, that the credit was discontinued, they couldn't apply, that didn't exist, and they couldn't apply any new discounts to the old plan. But because I'd asked them, well, is there an equivalent plan I can change to that's basically $60? Because I'd been told, I'd seen advertised unlimited plans and plans with more data for $60, but I didn't want to pay the extra $15 because I only use a couple of gigabytes a day and I wasn't using that data. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay $15 extra a month just for unlimited, which I'm not even really going to use anyway. So, but if I'm already paying $60 and I can't get it back down to the $45, I may as well get the better service for the same money. At least I'm paying more, but I'm getting something extra. They said, no, there's no plans. All there is a $20 20 gigabyte mobile plan and NBN. And I can't get NBN because it hasn't been installed in my apartment. It's been installed to the building, but each individual person has to have it added on to their apartment, which costs like $2,000 or something like that, or it used to cost that much. I don't know what it is now. So there really was no options. And they kept just telling me, look, we've addressed all your issues, there's nothing we can do, And then when I kept calling back, I eventually started going to this department called the Repeat Contact Center. And basically, the only defense against this bad customer service is to keep calling back till you get good customer service. And they found a way around that. Because once you've called a couple of times, they send you to the Repeat Contact Center, and all they do is just tell you, look, we've already addressed these issues. There's no solution. Basically, just take what you're given and go away, or go to somewhere else, get another service, go with another carrier. And I was like, wow. I sort of gave up for a minute. I'm like, I can't fix this. The only way to get around those people was to keep calling, and they found a way to stop me. But after about half an hour, because I'd started calling around 12, because I'd been up all night and I had to go to sleep, and I thought, well, I don't want to have to wake up to this problem, have it hanging over me. I'd rather just call up in the morning, go to bed another hour later, and resolve it. So I'd started calling up around lunch. It was about 7 o'clock at that point. 6, 7 o'clock. I gave up and I tried to go to bed. And I thought, you know what, I can't leave this unresolved. So I called back around 7, and I went past the Repeat Contact Center. I got a person in billing. She looked at it objectively. She just tried to help. She answered all my questions, because one of the things I'd asked for was, can you send me emails to confirm the messages I was given, the information I was given in the messages? And they kept saying, no, we can't do that, won't do that, we're not looking at the notes, we can't look at the notes, they don't exist. Just all a bunch of different lies from different people. And eventually this lady said to me, yes, she sent me the email, the information, literally cut and paste the messages from text into emails and confirmed the time and dates, and answered all my questions, because I wasn't asking for anything unreasonable. She was just trying to objectively look at the situations and resolve them. And she said, look, I can't sort this out because the people I need to speak to have left for the day. It's 7:30. Basically, our call centre ends between 7:30 and 8. So I can call you back tomorrow. I said, okay. She answered all my questions and she'd done a lot, so I thought she's trying to help. So I took her call back. So it wasn't actually totally resolved, but, I was okay. And then the next day, instead of her calling back at 6:30, before that, around 1:30 or something, I got a call from this absolutely belligerent manager who said, look, this is a call back basically to tell you that we have, looked at all the things. We can't resolve the problem. We can't fix it for you. Basically, just take what you're given, be happy with it, or go somewhere else. I'm like, wow, really? That's what you're called to say? You're just here to basically just confirm all the wrong information, lies, and everything that I was given yesterday, and try and bluff me and gaslight me into thinking that this problem can't be resolved and there's no other offers. And the only thing he did for me was, the other guy who had stretched out the call and pretended to, be nice, and he had offered a 1 month free and an extra $15 credit, which he didn't put on. I made that manager put that on because he could see in the messages that was offered to me. So he did that, and he hung up on me basically. And then I was like, look, I'm going to sort this out, but I can't deal with them. I need a break. I'll call back next week. So over the weekend, unfortunately, my modem stopped accurately giving me the data count. So I was downloading some stuff, and I checked the thing. I'm like, no, you got plenty of data. It's fine. You can download this. I didn't realize it wasn't counting the data properly. So when I did go online at some point and checked Optus, I realized, oh God, I'm like 20 gigabytes over what I thought I was. I don't have enough left to get me through to the end of the month. I'm like, God, what do I do? So I called up today. I spoke to one guy, and I did go back to the repeat contact center, but this guy actually was helping me. I told him that the other guys, the people, the bad service I had before, and they'd also put up what's called a flash message, where as soon as they see me, it'll basically, a message will come up from that manager, I won't say his name, but that manager, who said, basically, don't help this person. They've called multiple times. There's nothing we can do for them. Don't help them, basically. Don't answer them. And I said, you're going to find that message, ignore it, because this is a new problem. It's a technical problem. So he said he wouldn't listen to that. And I knew some people wouldn't. They would just ignore that because they would know that I haven't spoken to this person, so I'm going to speak to them and make my own mind up. So this guy basically said, well, yes, we can give you an extra 15, all we can give you is 15 gigabytes. That's the most we give you. So he called the technical department. They put that in, and they said, because again, they told me there were no other equivalent plans that I had as another option. He said, there's a $59 plan, which will give you unlimited 4G. Why don't you just go on that? I said, because every person I spoke to before you lied about it existing. And he said, well, we can do that then. I was like, okay, problem solved. Okay, I'm paying $14 more, $1 less than the other plan, and $14 more than the discounted plan I was getting, but I'm getting unlimited and I'm getting better quality service. So that's okay. I'm getting an upgrade. I'm not just paying more for what I was already getting before. So, and the only issue was after he hung up and I was looking at it myself, it said it wasn't available in my area, and he said it was. So I called back and I spoke to another person, same repeat contact center, but this person, again, tried to help me. No issues, no attitude, just objectively looking at the problem and trying to solve it. And he said, when I check my system, which is the same online portal you check, it does say that it's not available, but I'll give it to my manager or the other option was to call the technical guys or business, because maybe it was through them. And I spoke to the manager. He said, no, we've got our own internal thing, and I can check and I can see it is available in your area. You can get the 4G plan for $59, $1 less than what you're paying for unlimited, which would result, if they just told me in the first place, well, we can't restore the credit, but we can give you a plan which is almost the same, like $1 less, but unlimited. So you're getting a better plan, better service, for the same price that you're paying now. I would have accepted that. The call would have been over in like 15 minutes. But they refused to give me that information. They lied about these plans being available. They lied about everything. It was just insane, the amount of lies and cover-up and gaslighting and sabotage, sending me emails stating the opposite of what was true, all this insane stuff which the other people could see on the system. They could see how much I've been messed around. And yeah, the last person I spoke to, the manager, apologised for everything they'd done and just told me, look, call up, we'll send it out to you. You have your modem in 5 days and you can set up. So what I'll do is I'll set up, because they offer you the first month free, I will set up the new plan and have them overlap by a month. And if I'm confident after a month with the new service that it's okay, I'll get it and I'll discontinue the other one, and I'll still only pay for 1 month for those two services overlapping, because ultimately I just want to check it. But yeah, so basically don't give up, don't take no for an answer.